faithfully conveying value, interpreting global masterpieces. Hello, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we'll explore the book The Absorbent Mind. This educational philosophy book focuses on early childhood development, from birth to 6 years old. This final masterpiece was written by Maria Montessori, the renowned Italian educator and psychologist. In late 19th century Europe, when most women couldn't access higher education, Montessori became Italy's first female medical doctor. The Montessori method, developed through research and practice, has influenced educators worldwide for over a century. With over 20,000 Montessori schools globally, parents seeking early education advantages have various options. But how should we understand and support 0 to 6-year-olds' development? The Absorbent Mind contains Montessori's core philosophy, offering detailed guidance on this crucial developmental stage. Through this book, we'll gain foundational understanding of Montessori education and reflect on modern parenting approaches. The 220,000-word book, with 28 chapters, covers education, physiology, psychology, sociology, and cultural studies. I'll summarize the content into two main sections for discussion. First, we'll explore Montessori's fundamental educational philosophy and principles, focusing on two key concepts. 1. Children's naturally absorptive mental capacity. 2. Child development as progression toward freedom and independence. Next, we'll examine practical applications of these principles in real-world education. Now let's begin with part 1, Montessori's core educational philosophy. So what exactly is this absorptive mind concept? It refers to children's innate capacity for self-directed learning. Before delving deeper into Montessori's theories, let's first examine behaviorist psychology, contemporary to her educational framework. Deposed contemporaneously, he viewed children as blank slates, believing all humans are born identical. Different environmental stimuli during development create distinct behavioral patterns, shaping individuals through their surroundings. The leading figure of behaviorism, John B. Watson, famously declared, "Give me a dozen healthy infants. I can guarantee to train any randomly selected child to become any specialist I choose. Doctor, lawyer, artist, merchant, or even beggar or thief, regardless of innate talents or ancestry." This behaviorist approach brought certain benefits when applied to education. For instance, behaviorist learning research improved instructional design and enabled optimized learning through controlled content reinforcement, making learning processes more efficient and effective. However, this approach dangerously reduced education to animal training, neglecting human uniqueness and individual needs. In behaviorist education, children are passive recipients. Proper adult training methods alone determine knowledge acquisition. Many parental philosophies, like spare the rod, spoil the child, or strict teachers breed excellence, align with behaviorist principles. Montessori's philosophy counters this, asserting children possess innate learning absorption capabilities from birth. As the title, The Absorbent Mind, suggests, Montessori education starts by recognizing children's natural mental capacities rather than predetermined curricula. Montessori observed children under 3 can't be formally taught, yet demonstrate remarkable mental development through self-guided learning. 3-year-olds achieve linguistic milestones, surpassing what adults might attain through years of foreign language study. Thus, Montessori concluded, education isn't instruction, but natural development through environmental interaction. Knowledge emerges not from teaching, but children's experiential engagement with their surroundings. Montessori, she cited an example. A French missionary group studying modern ethnology arrived in Patagonia, discovering a community living with Stone Age technology and customs. When encountering Europeans, the natives fled in panic, accidentally abandoning a newborn Patagonian girl. Raised by the French, this girl mastered 2 European languages, adopted Western customs, converted to Christianity, and eventually became a university student. Remarkably, she transitioned from Stone Age to modern society within 18 years. This demonstrates children's extraordinary capacity for environmental absorption. Even children's absorptive minds. How should adults guide their education? Montessori proposed that teachers should serve children's minds like attendants assisting a master. Parents should play supporting roles in children's development. True parental authority comes not from control, but from supportive guidance. Now, we've covered Montessori's first principle, the child's naturally absorptive mind. Her second fundamental principle, children develop toward freedom and independence. What constitutes independence? Independence means accomplishing tasks without assistance. Walking enables self-directed movement. Speech allows expression without relying on others' interpretations. Therefore, parents must facilitate children's independence through life experiences. Only through this approach can children mature into responsible adults after adolescence. Parents are assistants, not providers of excessive or unnecessary help. Continued parental intervention when basic competence exists. For example, keeping walking capable children in strollers inhibits development and fosters inferiority. Many Chinese parents struggle profoundly with granting independence. They desire competent, self-reliant children, yet fear independence may lead to rebellion or estrangement. Thus, many parents paradoxically desire controlled independence, like flying a kite that remains tethered. This approach often negatively impacts parent-child relationships. As Montessori observed, children's drive toward independence follows natural developmental laws, unaffected by parental expectations. Suppressing this natural force hinders development and ultimately provokes rebellion when children gain sufficient autonomy. This concludes part 1, Montessori's 2 foundational principles. 1. The child's absorptive mental capacity. 2. Development toward freedom or independence. How can we practically implement these principles to maximize developmental absorption? Montessori's work covers multiple developmental aspects. We'll focus on 4 key areas. First, sensitive periods. Understanding these can exponentially enhance educational effectiveness. Second, language development. Many parents aspire to cultivate multilingual children with strong communication skills. But how to achieve this? Let's examine Montessori's guidance on language acquisition. Third, motor skill development. Montessori viewed physical movement as crucial, beyond mere health, possessing deeper developmental significance. Fourth, social adaptation skills. This often misunderstood aspect deserves particular attention from Chinese parents. Let's explore Montessori's insights for modern parenting reflection. First, understanding sensitive periods. Does mental absorption remain constant across all developmental stages? Are all environmental stimuli equally impactful? Absolutely not. This introduces Montessori's core concept, sensitive periods. Discussed in works like The Secret of Childhood, though not explicitly named here, these periods define absorption patterns. Specifically, children exhibit heightened sensitivity to different stimuli during distinct developmental stages. The first sensitive period begins immediately after birth. The womb provides warm darkness and relative quiet. Post-birth environments introduce temperature fluctuations, bright lights, and sensory overload requiring gradual adaptation. Parents should minimize stimulation, use soft lighting, gentle handling, and avoid rushed dressing. Crucially, maintain constant maternal contact. Preserving mother-child bonding facilitates newborn environmental adaptation. 1 to 3 months, auditory sensitivity emerges. Infants turn towards sound sources. 4 months, visual focus develops. Sustained object observation begins. 6 months, motor exploration peaks. Grasping, pulling, and oral sensory testing. From 12 months, language acquisition accelerates through vocal imitation. Around age 2, vocabulary explosion occurs, dozens of words weekly. How does understanding sensitive periods benefit parenting? Timely environmental enrichment during sensitive windows maximizes developmental efficiency. Examples: encourage movement during motor phases, verbal interaction during language surges. Premature skill forcing causes frustration. Alignment with natural timelines is crucial. Research summary with numerical impact. Research identifies over 30 sensitivity windows before age 10 across developmental domains. Important note: all sensitive period timelines are approximate. Individual variations exist. Sensitive periods emphasize child centered parenting, respecting individual rhythms, not rigid schedules. This embodies Montessori philosophy. Now that we've covered sensitive period concepts, let's examine how the absorbent mind principle applies to three developmental areas. First, language development. Traditional views frame language as taught by adults, teaching children to speak. Montessori terminology prefers language development, emphasizing innate capability maturation rather than instructional acquisition. All children globally progress through three linguistic phases. Phase 1, basic phonetics. Phase 2, vocabulary usage. Phase 3, grammar mastery. Unlike adult language learning through structured lessons, child development alternates between plateaus and explosive growth periods, exemplified by the vocabulary explosion around age 2. Ages 2 to 3, sentence complexity increases despite grammatical errors. Ages 3 to 6, gradual error correction through natural absorption. By age 6, full expressive capacity emerges without formal instruction. Contrary to parental assumptions, children aren't innately lazy learners. Children desperately want meaningful communication. Language stage tantrums often stem from expressive frustration. How can parents effectively support this developmental process? Montessori believed parents shouldn't force learning pressure on children. Simply provide enriched language environments during developmental windows. Patient communication helps remove expressive barriers, enhancing language absorption. Consider three parenting approaches during language acquisition. Type 1, minimal interaction, missing sensitive period opportunities. Type 2, vocabulary teaching. This is a car, that's a train. Effective for word accumulation but underutilizing potential. Type 3, naming plus intention interpretation. You want candy? When child vocalizes candy, parent expands, I want to eat candy. This creates meaningful communication exchanges. Parents facilitate expressive fluency through dialogic support. Now transitioning to motor skill development. Many parents view physical exercise merely as health maintenance. Montessori rejected this mind-body separation. Movement fuels brain development, which enhances coordination, reciprocal growth. This synergy profoundly benefits holistic development. Manual dexterity affects personality formation. Capable hands build strong character. Restricted hand use correlates with apathy and disobedience. Motor development extends beyond structured activities. Children naturally crave practical engagement. Daily challenges, moving heavy objects, setting tables, transporting items. Many adults dismiss these activities as pointless or tiring, often stopping children from engaging. Montessori warned such interruptions hinder developmental progress. Might psychologically troubled children share histories of developmental interference. While Montessori doesn't explain, I'll offer psychological insights. Completing holistic processes is crucial for development, from conceptualization to problem-solving execution, start to finish. This cycle builds confidence, self-efficacy, and problem-solving skills. Optimal parenting involves supportive observation and judicious assistance. Premature intervention robs learning opportunities. Modern parenting myth debunking. Motor development requires neither scheduled sports nor enforced music lessons. Limited absorption occurs without genuine interest engagement. Even mundane activities become profound learning when child-led. Such exploration yields rich experiential growth. Inspirational tone with learner-centric, enabling hyper-focused learning states. The child freely exploring sand develops motor skills and creativity organically. Forced piano practice breeds avoidance strategies, not musical growth. Attention shifts from activity to parental approval seeking. Now examining social adaptation, our final developmental domain. Societal premise establishment lies in its richness and diversity. Home environments offer singular lifestyle exposure. Schools introduce complex micro-societies requiring adaptation. Montessori advocates diverse social exposure to cultivate collaboration and compromise skills. Traditional schools group children by age for administrative convenience, though this hinders social adaptation development. Um, Montessori classrooms mix 3 to 6 year olds successfully. No bullying nor learning gaps observed. Older children naturally mentor younger peers, fostering mutual respect and beneficial interactions. Current educational stratification separates children by class and ability. Resulting homogeneous classrooms lack diversity. Montessori warns homogeneous groups breed toxic competition over cooperation. Such segregation severely impedes social emotional development. Real-world society thrives on human diversity. Sheltered environments create adaptation shock during societal integration. Exposure to diversity enhances adaptability. Parental overprotection counterproductive. This concludes Part 2 content review. Recapping key points. 1. Developmental sensitive periods require environmental alignment. Examples: auditory sensitivity, 1 to 3 months, motor development, 6 months. Timely environmental enrichment maximizes developmental efficiency. 2. Language acquisition thrives on nurturing environments, not pressure. Patient communication removes expressive barriers, enhancing linguistic absorption. Third, motor development perspective, explanation beyond structured activities. Moving tables, manipulating objects all contribute. Thus, parents needn't compel specific physical exercises. Safe, interest-driven activities provide optimal experiential learning opportunities. Lastly, social adaptation requires exposure to diversity, fostering collaborative compromise skills. This concludes our exploration of the absorbent mind. Part 1 covered 2 core principles. 1. The child's absorptive mental capacity. Developmental trajectory toward freedom and independence. Part 2 addressed 4 practical applications of Montessori philosophy. First, understanding and utilizing sensitive developmental periods. Second, detailed examination of linguistic, physical, and social skill development. Parents should provide environment-tailored developmental support. Every child's growth follows inherent patterns toward autonomy. Though century-old, Montessori's theories remain profoundly relevant for modern parenting. And so we conclude The Absorbent Mind. This concludes our book exploration. Find our study notes below the audio. Until tomorrow.